The impact of the iPad in the school has been huge. Over the last 7 years, we have completely transformed the way teaching happens in the school. Every student has access to, or they have their own iPad. So that means it's a one-to-one, one student to one device.
Between the teachers and the students in the school, there are over 1,300 devices in Malahide Community School, so it's a huge scenario. And we have worked every step along the way with the school in terms of making that happen.
Using the iPads has really helped every student. We have found that there is higher engagement with students, and we did find that students who had access to an iPad in class and at home actually achieved higher scores than comparable students who had had no access to the iPad in class. So that was very positive.
I think the iPad definitely enhances the learning in the classroom. I personally post all my classes and material to Schoology, which is our online platform. Students, if they're absent, can access this, or if they need just a little bit of extra time to grasp some key concepts, they can also then go back at a later date and have a little look.
So literally every day I use my iPad to present. I can have all the slides there, but also if I want to move to something that I'm talking about in class, whether it's on YouTube or a different app, I can very quickly swap because it's all in my hand.
Students tend to be a lot more creative when they have the iPad and use the apps. When I give an activity, they might be able to produce a written piece for me, or they might be able to record an audio piece for me. If there's a student who has a particular need, they can decide how best, I suppose, to produce work back to me. And it enables them then to meet their potential in terms of their learning.
Using the iPad, it makes us a lot more independent. We're able to research and put it into our own words, which makes it easier for us to learn the topics.
And they also help us research our homework if we're not sure on something. You get to do it yourself more, you get to research it, so it kind of sticks in your head more than just looking at words on a book.
Instead of me presenting information to them in a very passive way, I can pose a question, I can put forward an example and get them to research it, rather than just being presented with something as being, here's the information, go and learn it. The idea that they can take information that they gather, put it together, create something with it and present that as well. In terms of the learning side of it, it's a bit more active.
We can instantly gain feedback from maybe a class test that will enable us to plan for our next lesson. We can then adapt our planning and adapt our plans for our next lesson in order to try and make sure that students reach their potential and achieve better next time. So I do think every student should have an iPad.
1,300 devices is a huge amount of devices for any organisation to have, and one would imagine that the management of those devices is an enormous task. But actually that's where Wriggle comes in terms of taking that overhead away from the school, and the management profile on the devices means that they're safe and secure and compliant.
When we got the devices, Wriggle had set them up so that Zulu Desk, which is management software, was on them. What that means is we can decide as a school what apps we want the students to have, so they don't have free reign on the App Store, so it's essentially locked down for them. So it does give us that sort of level of security.
I would absolutely recommend Wriggle as a technology partner. They can provide a level of experience and service that I don't think another company can. They are the largest technology provider in this field in Ireland. They have a huge amount of experience across a wealth of different schools.
Like any other school in Ireland, Malahide Community School don't have an IT person on site full time, and nor do they need it, because that service is provided by Wriggle to manage those devices. This means that teachers can focus on what's important, which of course is the teaching and learning.
We have new staff every year, and the technology is changing very quickly. We have to make sure that everybody keeps up to date with what's going on, and that's been absolutely invaluable to in the development of the programme and the embedding of the iPads in the school over the last 7 years. One of the major benefits to us from the Wriggle as our technology partner is that they provide training to us in our school for our teachers and for our school.
I can't imagine learning without an iPad, because it'd just be a lot harder, because I'd have to carry a lot more books to class, which would make my bag a lot heavier. And if I didn't know a question in the class, I couldn't just look it up on my iPad.
And especially if you're using them for choice subjects such as art and woodwork, you'll be able to take pictures on your iPads for your briefs and for the reflections during the CBAs.
I think Malahide Community School is a great example of best practice in the use of iPad in a classroom here in an Irish context, and I'm very excited about looking to see where the school can take it in the future.